G'day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video I'm going to talk to you guys about the Mage Tower and basically why you should try the Mage Tower. Now the Mage Tower was a challenge that came from Legion and it originally was to get different tints for your artifact weapon. So it gave your artifact weapon an appearance, but it gave it different tints as well. Now that's been removed, still you cannot get those, but there's plenty more reasons to get it. It is located in the Broken Shores, as you would have seen on my map, and you can access it from Dalaran. You simply just have to fly down to the Broken Shores. There is no level requirement, although obviously with it being a time-walking based content, it's only available during the week that Legion Timewalking is up. Secondly, as well, something to consider, is that you're going to want to at least be max level or above the level cap requirement for Legion, so that you can obviously have a better time. As I mentioned, the Legion artifact appearances are no longer available, so you will be unable to obtain those. However, you are able to obtain a mount and also tier set items. Not to mention, you can also grab yourself some achievements if you want to. Now, as I mentioned, the Mage Tower is, unfortunately, only available during Legion Timewalking weeks. So if you want to try it, you're going to have to try it now, or at least when the Legion Timewalking event is up, obviously if you're watching this video later. Of course, as I mentioned, there are achievements. There's a reskinned transmog set, and for Guardian Druids, there is the Fel Werebear Skin, which I think is really cool, and it's good that they added that back, and I think that's probably the coolest reward you can get out of Mage Tower, barring the mount, but we'll talk about that at the end of the video. Now, in terms of Mage Tower itself, it is quite highly challenging. It doesn't necessarily measure your skill. Some classes can struggle here more than others, but I would highly suggest that you bring foods, flasks, whetstones, and if you don't have access to haste, you need to bring yourself some war drums, because your class is going to need haste regardless of what spec it is. Not to mention, you're also going to want to enchant your gear and also place gems in all of your gear if possible. We'll go through what is and isn't allowed in the tips and tricks section so that you can get an idea of how you can improve your performance, but several classes will have several different challenges. For example, tanks all tend to have the same challenge, but the other specs are different. Magic damage dealers will have different ones compared to hunter, range, to melee, etc. There are 7 challenges in total that you can complete, and you get an achievement for completing all these 7 challenges, but you also get an achievement for completing it with every class and with every spec, which I'm sure, as you should know, is crazy. So in terms of the actual event itself, what is and isn't allowed? Well, firstly, I'm just going to talk about ways you can improve your overall performance. So barring flasks, barring all the things already mentioned, there's a couple of things you need to know. Legendary powers are not active during the Mage Tower Challenge, so no legendary powers, not even those from Legion, are active during the Mage Tower Challenge. Secondly speaking, there are also tier set bonuses that are banned from the Mage Tower, specifically those relating to Dragonflight. However, other tier set bonuses are available and will work. So grabbing yourself a set of tier gear from the Legion raids is possibly super helpful. In fact, wearing Legion mythic gear is highly suggested for this content. Item procs from previous expansions, like the Spellbound Runic Band of Unrelenting Slaughter, and things like Rathian sockets from Pandaria won't work in the Mage Tower either, even though they're within the guideline of the leveling process. I highly suggest you read or watch a video relating to the challenge that you plan on doing with your class beforehand. They can be quite tough, and if you don't go in knowing what to expect, you are probably going to fail. It isn't really a new player friendly piece of content. It's important you understand your class and you understand what you're doing so that you can have the best time possible in taking on the event. Everything else, to be honest with you, is more in-depth probably than you need. but it is important to understand that there are 7 challenges: the Closing Eye for Arms Warrior, Frost Death Knights, Havoc Demon Hunters, Survival Hunters, and Subtlety Rogue; an Impossible Foe for Elemental Shaman, Feral Druid, Fire Mage, Fury Warrior; the God's Queen's Fury for Arcane Mage, Demonology Warlock, and Assassination Rogue; the Fel Totem's Fall for Beastmaster Hunter, Destruction Warlock, and Discipline Priest; the High Lord's Return for Brewmaster Monk, Guardian Druid, Protection Paladin, Protection Warrior, Vengeance Demon Hunter, and Blood DK; End of the Risen Threat for Holy Priest, Holy Paladin, Mistweaver Monk, Restoration Druid, and Restoration Shaman; and Thwarting the Twins for Affliction Warlock, Balance Druid, Frost Mage, Marksmanship Hunter, and Shadow Priest. Beyond that, honestly speaking, you will need to go more in-depth per class and per challenge to truly understand how to maximize yourself. The only things I can truly suggest is the flasks, the food, the haste drums if you do not have access to any form of lust capabilities, and also finally, obviously grabbing the Legion Mythic set would be a very, very good idea. Having your artifact weapons could potentially help, but not really, because the borrowed power systems will not work. So now in terms of the rewards, obviously you can no longer gain access to the appearances, as you can see there, but you do get access to a reskin of your tier set from the Tomb of Sargeras. So you will get a reskin tier set that is its own color from the Tomb of Sargeras, and Guardian Druids who complete the tank challenge will receive a new tint of the bear form called the Fel Werebear. That for me is probably the best appearance perk that you can get from the event itself, but I think overall there's still a lot of value in doing this. For me, it's more a personal pride thing. I think it's a ton of fun to be able to do this kind of content, and it's a good individual challenge. Yes, it can be frustrating, and some classes do struggle more than others, but I think overall it's really fun, and it's something you should at least try. Even if you don't complete it, or you don't complete it on every class, find that class that you do complete it on, and it's a really fun time. Now, if you complete all 7 challenges, so not completing, with every class, but completing the 7 different scenarios that can be presented, you will gain access to the Spellbound Spelltome mount, or the Mage Bound Spelltome mount, I should say. And this is a very, very cool mount. And you can get this by completing those 7 scenarios. You'll get an achievement for completing it with every spec. But guys, I highly implore you to go try out this bit of content. It's super fun. It's not always accessible. And if you're someone who's chasing something a bit different, I think this is a bit of WoW content that's very unique in its nature. That's it from me. Bye.